Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be discussing the Georgia football schedule for the 2023 season. First of all, I got a new phone, so hopefully this quality is better. Second, I've heard people talk about the lighting in the back. There's no other spot I can do this at the moment. Can do my videos at the moment. So when I can change it, I will change it. But if you've watched anything about college football this off season, we're going to talk about the schedules this season. Probably heard that Georgia's schedule this year is one of the easiest from a championship team you've ever seen. And I'd agree with that. I'm going to go through all the games and explain why I think they're very easy, compared at least to other SEC teams. First up, you're at home versus UT Martin. It's UT Martin. UT Martin's not good at all. Georgia's going to win that one. Then you got Ball State. Ball State's also bad, so two of your out of conference games are very easy to start the year. You're at home versus South Carolina. Okay, South Carolina can be very good. They blew out Tennessee last year. They beat Clemson. They can be good, but they had a very slow start to last year. And you look how they played against Georgia last year, even in South Carolina, it was a complete blowout from the start. So I got Georgia winning this one. Then you're at home versus UAB. Got your first four games of the season at home. UAB sucks compared to Georgia. So I got Georgia in this one. Then you're going to Auburn. Jordan Hare Stadium is very strange that Georgia's had a loss there before, but it's been a while in a wild fashion. So I don't really think it's going to be a close game at all. Auburn could be good, but Georgia's great. They're by far the best team in the country. Georgia's going to win. Then you're at home versus Kentucky. I think Kentucky's overrated. I've mentioned that the past two videos. I'm going to mention it again because I believe they're overrated because they lost Will Levis at the draft. Last year had a good run game with Chris Rodriguez. So can you do that again without the same firepower at quarterback? Receiving, I think, is a little bit overrated, especially with these good defense of corners coming into the SEC. In Alabama, Tennessee might regroup. And even against Tennessee last year, you put up 6 points, Kentucky did, with a bad secondary Tennessee had. And especially ain't going to do this against Georgia. So Georgia's going to get this one. Then you got a game against Vanderbilt. At Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt's possibly the worst SEC team and has been the worst SEC team for the past 5 years. I got Georgia winning this one pretty easily. Then you get your bye week. Then you're playing in the Florida Georgia line rivalry. Facing Florida, you're going to win. Florida is not going to be good this year. With these recruits coming in for Florida, next year they can be very good, but not this year. I got Georgia winning probably in a blowout. So far, all these games look like blowouts. Next up, you're at home versus Missouri. Missouri is the one team last year in the regular season that really gave Georgia problems. But I was at Missouri. I don't see a way that this is going to be close this year. You got Brock Bowers is going to be very good. Brock Bowers can single-handedly win you a game at tight end. Only tight end in the country can do that. You got Ladd McConkey coming back. You got Carson Beck. You got the whole offensive line. Defense is always going to be good, especially the Kirby Smart-led team. Again, I got Georgia winning this one. You're going against Ole Miss at home. No, you can't. You're not going to beat Ole Miss. I'm in. My bad. You're going to beat Ole Miss. My bad. You're going to beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss is, I think, is going to be a little bit overrated. I think they showed that they had some faults last year, especially in the game against Arkansas. They got blown out. And I got Georgia winning this one. One very tough game you have this year is coming up next. We'll discuss this in the other video with Tennessee. You're going to Knoxville. Can you beat Tennessee in Knoxville? You can. It's going to be tough, though. You got Joe Milton at Tennessee. He can throw it 80 yards. 80 yards is an absurd amount you can throw as a quarterback. No quarterback has an arm like Joe Milton does. You got Squirrel White, one of the fastest players in the country, possibly. You got Ramel Keaton, you got Brew McCoy at a wide receiver for Tennessee. But last year it didn't come down to the wide receivers. It came down to mostly time of possession and getting key stops. Tennessee couldn't get key stops last year. Georgia had a 9-minute drive in the third quarter. Can you get those key stops if you're Tennessee? I don't think so. I think Georgia's going to win. I think Brock Bowers is going to make some plays. I think it's going to be just overly dominated on the front line by the offensive line of Georgia. So I got Georgia winning. This one's going to be their closest game of the year. And then you're going to be at Georgia Tech. You're going to be at Georgia Tech this next game. You're not going to beat. Georgia Tech is not going to beat you. Georgia Tech is bad for ACC standards, let alone the best team in the country for the past 2 years standards. You're going to beat Georgia Tech. I got you going 12-0. This is a very easy schedule. Only one team on the schedule had at least double-digit wins last year. Only one team on the schedule did not have 5 losses at least. And that's Tennessee. And that's why I think they have the best chance to beat Georgia. I would not be surprised if Tennessee won. Maybe someone gets hurt for Georgia throughout the year and this thing might change. Like if Carson Beck gets hurt or Brock Bowers gets hurt, this could definitely change. But for the moment, I got Georgia going 12-0. And yeah, thank you for watching. And you can like, subscribe, comment if you want. It's up to you. Thank you for watching and God bless.